It's The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Tonight, Jay welcomes Senator John McCain and Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And now, please welcome Jay Leno.
Hi, everybody. How are you? How you doing? Hi. Hi, folks. Welcome. Thanks. Thank you very much. Let me tell you why we're here tonight. As you know, it was 1 week ago today, and this is our first show back. And, well, we're back because the President of the United States, the Mayor of New York, have asked us to try and get back into some sort of routine, get back into what we normally do. Those of you watching at home, if you don't know this, we do not do our show in New York. We are in Los Angeles. And although we've all seen these horrible, horrible images on TV, I can't imagine how horrible they must be in person. And for that reason, our prayers go out, of course, to the victims' families, and the incredibly brave men and women of the New York Police Department and Fire Department. To see 300 people literally march into a building with not much chance of coming out to save people they never even met. To see average Americans, I mean, just anybody here, fighting with terrorists on an airplane to protect that airplane from crashing into the capital of the United States. You know, we hear so much about the greatest generation, and these people are certainly the greatest people of our generation. It's just an amazing, amazing story. And, you know, it's amazing what a small, small country this is when we think of others instead of ourselves. You know, I'll tell you a story. When I first came out here to L.A., and, you know, I used to tease my mother about this. Oh, I used to think this was so funny. I'd be here in Los Angeles. My mom was in Boston, and something would happen in San Francisco. There'd be a train wreck. There'd be a fire in Seattle. A bus would turn over in Vancouver. And an hour later, I get a phone call. Are you okay? Is that near you? I go, Ma, it's like 800 miles away. And he used to think, what's the matter with her? What is that? And yet, this past week, I found myself calling people in Schenectady, New York, calling people in Buffalo, calling people in my hometown of Andover, Massachusetts. Are you okay? Did a piece of that plane hit anybody? You know, just that irrational, well, not irrational, just that caring you have, that thinking of other people. And of course, back to the original question, why are we here? And, you know, in a world where people fly airplanes into buildings for the sole purpose of killing innocent people, a job like this seems incredibly irrelevant. You know, normally I would be out here making fun of Democrats, making fun of Republicans, and you realize we don't have Democrats, Republicans anymore. We only have Americans, and we have Americans united in one goal for one reason. You know, it's hard to believe 9 days ago, the biggest story in the United States, the Barbara Walters special, the cover of the magazine, Anne Heche is crazy. That was our biggest problem 9 days ago. You know, when you go, wow, was it really that innocent a time just 9 days ago? But, you know, we still have a job to do. And I don't pretend that this is an important job. You know what this job is? This job is like a cookie to those firemen. That's what we do. You know, we're standing there with a cookie. We're standing there with a glass of lemonade. You know, when those people get home after a hard day, we're not trying to make anybody forget. We're just trying to take their mind off it for a minute. You know, you watch this horrible carnage on television, and I don't know, maybe a silly joke can help. Maybe something a little funny can help. In the coming weeks and months, we are not going to be inappropriate. We are not going to be insensitive. We are not going to bring jokes about people of different color or look different of people's religion, because that is obviously not the American way, and that is what they would want us to do. You know, I'll tell you a story. I was a Boy Scout when I was a kid, and I was a terrible scout. I wasn't a very good scout. I'm kind of dyslexic. If you've ever seen the monologue, you probably figured that out. And I wasn't big. You know, I'd make a sheep shank, you know, and I'd make the knot, and it would pull through. But I had pretty good teachers, and my scoutmaster's a pretty good guy, and he believed that, you know, every kid should get something. So at the end of the year, when we'd have the scout banquet, and they're handing out that corn merit badge, and the electricity merit badge. And at the end of the thing, he called me up and he said, all right, Leno, your job, and I was 12, this was a big job. He said, your job, you're going to be the troop cheermaster. Your job, when you see another scout that's a little depressed or a little upset, your job is to go over and tell that scout a joke or entertain him. And I thought, boy, you know what? That's a pretty good job. And I loved doing that job. And through some bizarre twist of fate, it pays a lot better now than it did then. But something, it's the same, it's basically the same job. And like I say, I don't pretend that it's an important job, but we all can't be at the epicenter. We all can't be digging through the rubble because we're not there. But we can give blood, or we can tell jokes, or we can wash dishes, we can make sandwiches. There's stuff that we can do, President Bush has told us to go back to work, try to get back to our lives. And this is what we're trying to do here. I mentioned my dad once before when he passed away, and I haven't mentioned this since, but, my dad used to be a prize fighter, and he used to say, fight the good fight. And that's what this is, folks. This is the good fight. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. This is not, maybe we did, maybe we did something that we didn't. We got sucker punched, and we got knocked down. But when we get up, we will get up. Our heads, folks. So, in the days and weeks ahead, when you see us out here being silly and telling jokes, some people understand and some won't. And those that don't, well, Nightline's a great show too. And I like Nightline, and it's a great show, but sometimes when I watch, I just, in times of crisis, I go there. But boy, I go there every night, and as great as those guys are, I find myself, you think, well, I can't cry anymore. And you go, oh, gee. And you see that pregnant mom. You see that father that lost a daughter. And it's just incredibly sad. So our job here, and your job, I think, is to keep fighting the good fight, and God bless America. Now, let me ask my folks. Now, I want to ask my buddy, how you doing, Kev?
I'm all right, getting through it like everybody.
I want to tell folks, it's less than 2 weeks ago. I know your brother lives in New York, and
right.
He had a child. Your parents became grandparents for the first time. Are they near there? Were they?
Yeah, they're near there, and I actually have two brothers that were near there, and it took us a couple days to get in touch with everybody, and it was really, I'm sure some of the other people in the band, that are from New York had the same, fear. So just those 2 days of not knowing or what's going on and trying to call, but the phone lines are all crammed and everything, it was very deep. I'm sure a lot of people going through the same thing, and it kind of, I'm still not really all together yet from going through the whole thing.
Now, I know your dad, of course, is deacon of the Mount Airy Baptist Church.
Yeah,
I always teach about the Mount Airy Baptist Church.
Right. And actually, he led the prayer service on Sunday. He teaches Sunday school, and this time he led the whole church in a prayer. And it was really about, I talked to him about it. We had a long conversation about this whole thing. And he was telling me about how his prayer was about America coming together as a community and being responsible for the community we've created from all different kinds of people and different colors of people. We're responsible for everybody being together in this country, but if we come together and we can pull each other through it and be responsible for each other and take care of each other. So he kind of laid that on me.
Tonight, you have a bigger pulpit than he does.
That's absolutely right.
Okay. Folks, let me tell you what we have for you tonight. We have one of the most thoughtful and decent men I could think of to have for our first night back. Senator John McCain is with us tonight. Also, patriots come in all sizes and shapes, if you've seen David Crosby. So you know. No, we got Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and they have some just beautiful, beautiful, moving music. And I think it'll just be a thoughtful, reflective night. So, folks, we'll be right back right after this. Fight the good fight.